Yellow Productions presents a travel guide for the city of Munich in Germany. I'm your host, Chris.
And Tiffy.
And today we're going to be showing you around Munich. This video will cover everything you need to know to visit Munich. In the next 7 minutes, we'll cover the following sites and attractions. We'll begin with Mariensplatz, Munich's main square. We'll then pay a visit to some of Munich's famous beer halls, beer gardens, and sample some tasty German food. We'll then visit the Viktualienmarkt, which is a historic food and souvenir market. Then go over to Odeonsplatz, which is a famous site for parades. The final attraction we'll visit is the BMW Museum, and I'll conclude with a discussion on some of Munich's excellent transportation options. The center of the old town of Munich is here in Mariensplatz, which is called Mary's Square, named after the statue of Mary up on the top of that tower. This square is kind of the center of tourist activity here. It is flanked by the new town hall right here, and then on the other side of the square, this way, is the old town hall, that gray building, which it's actually funny because the old town hall is newer than the new town hall because that one was destroyed in the war and rebuilt. So if you wonder how I know all these things, and people often ask me that, on this particular tour I listened to Rick Steve's audio guide, and he hasn't paid me 1 cent for this promotion yet. This pedestrian street right here, Kufingerstrasse and Neuhauserstrasse, is Munich's pedestrian street that connects Mary's Square to the train station. It is actually one of Europe's oldest pedestrian streets, and in the 1970s, when they pedestrianized it, all the shopkeepers were up in arms because it was going to kill their business. Yeah, looks awful. Munich has a number of beer halls. What's special about a beer hall? The beer. Something particularly unique to this region is the Radler. It's a half beer, half lemonade that starts with the taste of lemon, has a lot of bubbles in the middle, and then ends with the aftertaste of beer. It's not very alcoholic-y tasting, and as someone who's not really a big beer buff, I actually rather enjoy this. Munich's most popular beer hall is the Hofbrauhaus. Come here to experience the insanity of this 5,000-seat beer hall. And it is so incredibly busy that walking inside kind of feels like a mosh pit sometimes. You just have to push your way through. It's so busy that all 5,000 people are inside, so they're holding people outside until people leave so other people can go in. Beer drinking insanity is how I would sum it up. After you've done a beer hall experience, the other quintessential German beer experience is to have beer in a beer garden, around the trees and at night. Drink your beer, and when you've had enough, then you cheer. Hooray! In beer gardens, they typically have 2 types of tables. Those that have tablecloths means you order food and have service from the waiter, and those that don't have tablecloths, and those are self-service, or bring your own food. In Munich, roast meats are very popular. This is a roast pork knuckle. This is slices of roast pork and slices of veal. They also do dumplings in the potato dumpling form.
But my favorite food is sausages and sauerkraut. They look like bamboo.
Viktualienmarkt is Munich's oldest market. It's where you can come, get a beer, have a pretzel, and just sit out and enjoy. There's also a number of other food vendors where you can get fried fish and other German tasty treats. The 7 great beer breweries of Munich take turns vending beer out of the central beer vending hut. Today, they're selling Spaten beer. You can pick up a half-liter or 1 liter, already poured for you. At the center of the market is a maypole, that huge blue and white pole there. It has figurines on the side to advertise what different vendors are here in the market. It's a tradition from the 15th century. In addition to beer and food, you can also buy produce and other assorted knickknacks. The classic souvenirs to pick up while you're in Munich are cuckoo clocks, nutcrackers, and beer steins. If you want a little something more upscale, you can stop into the Schran Hall right next to the market. It's more of an upscale indoor market, and if you like chocolates or purple cows, this is the place to hang out too, because the Milka Chocolate Company has their flagship store in the basement here. And he's a pretty cute purple cow. Munich is home to a number of great squares, this one included, that were part of the imperial family's vision for Munich. This is Odeonsplatz. When the Hitler regime and the Nazi regime was in power, they had a monument here that everybody had to salute as they came by, and it's not here anymore, so you don't have to do that. Now you can just kind of enjoy the sunshine in the square. Maybe a bike ride too. One of the most elaborate small churches I've ever seen is on Sedlingerstrasse, and it's the Awesome Brothers Church, spelled A-S-A-M. Not awesome as in awesome, but actually it's pretty awesome. These two brothers, they were a pair of architects, and they built this as their private church, but they also used it to showcase their architecture skills. And guess what? It was a really short commute for them to their church because they lived right next door in the awesome house. Would you like a rock facade for your church? Can't afford any rocks? We can make it out of concrete. Would you like a column? Can't afford real marble? No problem. Munich is home to BMW, which I just learned stands for Bavarian Motor Works. And I learned this at the BMW headquarters, the BMW Welt, which is their showroom of new cars, and adjacent to it is the BMW Museum to tell you about all of the history of Bavarian Motor Works. The museum building looks like a spaceship that has just come to land, and now it's about to take off. An excellent way to travel to Munich is by train from adjacent cities. The Munich train station is efficient, clean, and drops you off right in the center of the city, so it's very convenient. The subway was put in for the Olympics in the 70s. Some of these cars look like they might still be from that era. It's pretty nice wood paneling. Public transportation in Munich is quite good and easy to take. Even the buses are well thought out, and they've got digital signs while you're on the bus to let you know what the next stop and next 3 stops are. At the bus stops, they've got digital signs to let you know when the next bus is arriving. And no video about Munich would be complete without at least mentioning Oktoberfest, Munich's biggest celebration to beer culture. And I've got a separate video on that. Click on it in the upper right, or you might enjoy watching one of these other videos. Click any of them to watch. Links are also in the description below.